100 years ago, presidential hopeful Warren G. Harding ran on a campaign that promised a return to normalcy following World War I. Today, we are in the midst of the worst economic and global crises in recent memory. So, how do we return to normal? Well, it starts with curing something that we can't even see. To cure COVID-19, we first have to understand what it is. There are hundreds of coronaviruses, 7 of which infect humans, and one in particular, severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, causes the disease COVID-19, which as we all know spreads easily and severely impacts the lungs.
Epidemic coronaviruses are a zoonotic virus, meaning they jump from other animals to humans, and they store their genes on RNA. RNA viruses tend to be smaller and have fewer genes than DNA viruses, so this allows them to infect and replicate quickly in hosts. Now, most RNA viruses don't have a proofreading mechanism, but one positive caveat is that coronaviruses actually have an enzyme that checks for replication errors and corrects these mistakes, and as a result, COVID-19 is a much more stable virus. This slower mutation rate means that our immune systems have an easier time recognizing and beating COVID-19 if we ever become infected again, and even more importantly, vaccines are more effective. Transmission mostly occurs when an infected person coughs, which can spray droplets up to 6 feet, which is why it is paramount to wear masks in public. After inevitable transmission occurs, however, the next step is preventing people from getting sick. Under electron microscopes, we can see COVID-19 has a spike protein which attaches to the ACE2 protein receptor on a cell, allowing it to enter the cell and replicate itself. This spike protein is what gives coronaviruses its crown-like shape and name, and this is important because the ACE2 receptor is how we get infected, and also how we can cure the virus. ACE2 can't be cleaved without TMPRSS2, and TMPRSS2 is upregulated in androgen hormones. This means that the more androgen hormones one has, such as testosterone, the more TMPRSS2 one has, and therefore the more likely one will have trouble fighting off COVID-19. The upregulation of TMPRSS2 also explains why certain demographics are affected disproportionately. Males have more TMPRSS2, and this is why men are faring less well with COVID than women. Obese people have more androgens, and obese people are faring worse. And finally, kids before puberty have significantly milder courses than adults. Why? Well, partially because they have less androgen hormones, and partially because kids have less ACE2 receptors in their nasopharyngeal area to begin with. And though it may seem that COVID-19 is just picky in who it likes, this is how you cure it. You inhibit TMPRSS2, and this is exactly what many clinical trials are attempting to do today.
This is exciting stuff, and a new day is on the horizon.
A large number of youth, including myself, grew up playing this game called Plague Inc., where you try to win by killing off the entire world with a pandemic, and you therefore lose by failing to kill everybody. But it doesn't have to be like that. This isn't a lose-lose situation. We will win and we will prevail. And just like the virus, when we get beaten up, we evolve and we come back stronger. We will have a return to normalcy, but it might just have to be a new normal.